Let me be brutally honest with you for a second. Everything you thought you knew about the Iraqi Dinar investment, every sleepless night you've spent worrying about your holdings, every piece of conflicting information that has made you question your own judgment, it was all leading to this very moment. What if I told you that the single biggest fear holding back dinar investors from truly celebrating, the terrifying specter of the LOP, has just been officially and unequivocally dismantled? That's not a rumor. It's not a guru's hopeful prediction. It is the emerging financial reality based on the concrete steps Iraq is taking right now on the world stage. For years, the term LOP, or lop off the zeros, has been the ultimate boogeyman in this community. It was the nightmare scenario where you'd wake up one day, check the news, and find out that your millions of dinar were suddenly worth a fraction of the value because 3 zeros were simply deleted from the currency. It was the argument that made this entire investment seem like a foolish fantasy. But today, we are going to connect the dots from the corridors of power in Baghdad to the meeting rooms of international financial institutions to show you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, why a LOP is not just unlikely. It is an economic impossibility for the new Iraq that is being born. The evidence is no longer in the whispers. It's in the policy documents, the public statements from the Central Bank of Iraq, and the very tangible preparations for a new, internationally recognized exchange rate. Think about the fundamental purpose of a redenomination or a LOP. It's typically for a country that is drowning in hyperinflation, where the physical currency has become so cumbersome that carrying 1 million of it can't even buy you a loaf of bread. It's a logistical solution for a failed monetary system. But look at Iraq today. It is not a failing state. It is a nation aggressively pursuing integration into the global economy. It's seeking membership in the World Trade Organization. It's inviting international investment into its energy and construction sectors. And it's building financial bridges with its neighbors and with the West. A LOP would be a catastrophic signal to all these potential partners. It would scream instability. It would create monumental confusion in freshly inked contracts. And it would instantly vaporize the very trust that Iraq is spending billions of dollars to build. The path Iraq is on is the exact opposite. They are not planning to shrink their currency. They are planning to strengthen its value to a level that reflects the true, immense wealth of the nation. This isn't about making the notes easier to count. It's about making each note worth more. The deletion of zeros was a theoretical solution to a problem that Iraq is solving through economic growth and monetary reform. They are fixing the engine, not just repainting the car and resetting the odometer. The new lower denomination currency that has been discussed is not a replacement that invalidates your current holdings. It is a complementary currency that will be introduced after the revaluation, to be used alongside the new, stronger dinar for everyday transactions. Your current 25,000 dinar note will not become a 25 dinar note. It will be worth what 25,000 new dinars are worth after the RV. This is the critical distinction that changes everything. The groundwork has been laid, the economic data supports it, and the geopolitical moves confirm it. The LOP is a ghost of the past, and it's time we stopped letting it haunt our future profits. Now, let's tackle the second earth-shattering piece of confirmation that solidifies this as the most significant financial opportunity of our lifetimes: the concept of a single, unified global exchange rate for every single dinar holder. From the largest institutional investor in London to the individual who bought their notes online a decade ago, there will be no tiers, no preferential rates. You get this because you're a bank, and you get that because you're a retail investor. This principle of a universal rate is the bedrock of a legitimate, internationally traded currency, and it is the explicit goal of the Central Bank of Iraq's ongoing reforms. Why is this so important? Because it guarantees fairness, and it ensures that the monumental profit you have been anticipating is the profit you will actually realize. For years, a persistent fear has been that while the official rate might jump to a high number, the average person would only be able to exchange their dinar at a much lower, so-called street rate, while the elite and the powerful cashed in at the top. Let me be clear. That scenario describes a black market, not a globally recognized currency. The entire purpose of the revaluation is to bring the Iraqi dinar out of the shadows and onto the main stage of the forex market, where it will be traded just like the euro, the British pound, or the Japanese yen. And in those markets, the rate is the rate. When you look up the USD to GBP pair, you don't see one price for JP Morgan and another for a tourist exchanging money at the airport. You see a single fluid global price. The same will be true for the IQD. The mechanism for this is the lifting of the program rate, the final abolition of the currency auction that has artificially tethered the dinar, and the full transition to a market-driven value. Once that happens, the rate you see on Bloomberg, Reuters, and Yahoo Finance will be the rate available to you through your chosen exchange platform or bank. This is what international liquidity means. This confirmation dismantles another layer of fear, uncertainty, and doubt that has been used to keep people from understanding the sheer scale of what is coming. It means that the profit calculations you've done in your head, the ones that seem almost too good to be true, are based on a forthcoming reality. The value of your investment will not be diluted by a complex tier system, because such a system cannot exist for a currency that wants to be part of the global financial system. Iraq is seeking stability and trust, and nothing destroys trust faster than a two-tiered financial system that favors the powerful. The international community, particularly the International Monetary Fund, which is deeply involved in Iraq's reform process, would never endorse such a move. The path to economic integration is paved with transparency and uniformity. So when the announcement is made and the new rate goes live across all trading platforms worldwide, your dinar will be valued at that exact same rate. This levels the playing field in an unprecedented way. It means that the patience and faith of the everyday investor are about to be rewarded on a scale that is truly historic. The playing field is not just level. It is tilted in your favor because you had the foresight to get in before the official global launch. So, we have established that the LOP is a phantom, and a single global rate is the guaranteed reality. This leads us to the most thrilling part of our discussion: the sheer, undeniable magnitude of the profit that is now on the horizon. We are not talking about a slight bump or a double-digit percentage gain. We are talking about a fundamental repricing of a national currency to reflect the staggering intrinsic value of the nation itself. Think of Iraq not as a war-torn country, but as a geological and economic powerhouse sitting atop one of the largest proven oil reserves on the planet. It has vast, untapped mineral wealth, incredibly fertile agricultural land, and a strategic location that makes it a natural hub for trade and commerce. For decades, this immense value has been completely disconnected from its currency due to conflict, sanctions, and instability. The dinar's value has been a relic of a painful past. The revaluation, or RV, is the process of reconnecting the currency to the true, modern-day asset base and economic potential of Iraq. It is the financial world catching up to reality. This isn't speculation. It's a necessary correction. When this correction happens, the profit potential is not just huge. It is generational. It is the kind of financial event that allows families to rewrite their futures, to achieve levels of freedom and security they previously thought were impossible. This is the huge profit alert that is the logical, mathematical conclusion of a no LOP, single global rate scenario. Every piece of the puzzle is now falling into place. The digital payment systems being rolled out, the financial inclusion initiatives, the deals with international corporations, the steady increase in gold reserves, all of it is building towards a single, defining moment where the Central Bank of Iraq flips the switch. They are not just raising a number, they are launching the Iraqi Dinar as a globally respected store of value. This is why your investment, which you have held on to through years of uncertainty, is about to become one of the most astute financial decisions you will ever make. The convergence of these factors, the death of the LOP myth, the assurance of a universal rate, and the undeniable economic strength of Iraq, creates a perfect storm for profitability. The wait has been a test of conviction, and those who held firm are now on the cusp of a reward that will redefine their lives. You positioned yourself at the ground floor of a global economic renaissance for an entire nation. When the history of 21st century finance is written, the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar will be studied as one of the most dramatic and profitable currency events ever. You are not just an observer of this history. You are an active participant in it. Your foresight is about to be validated in the most spectacular way imaginable. And now, I need you to do something for me, and more importantly, for yourself. If this information has solidified your belief, if it has answered the deep-seated questions that have been keeping you up at night, then I need you to take action right now. First, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because we are breaking down developments like this every single day, giving you the real, unfiltered analysis you won't find anywhere else. Secondly, and this is absolutely crucial, share this video with just one other person. Share it with a fellow dinar holder who needs to hear this confirmation. Or share it with someone you care about, who you want to be a part of this life-changing opportunity. Spreading this knowledge strengthens our entire community. Finally, I want you to go into the comments section and tell me one thing you are going to do when this becomes reality. What is the first positive change you will make for yourself and your family? Putting that intention out into the world is a powerful thing. So like, subscribe, share this video far and wide, and let me know your plans in the comments below. Let's get this conversation started, because the future we've been waiting for is no longer a question of if, but a certainty of when.